Welcome everyone. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashit dukh bhagavet. Suprabhat. Esteemed faculties, respected guests, all the students. I am Kanishka Sharma, a student of Masters of Biotechnology, GSFC University. And it's my privilege to be a host of this one-day national symposium on Indian knowledge system with a focus on traditional knowledge of Gujarat. This Indian Knowledge System Symposium aims to explore the rich heritage of India's traditional knowledge with its relevance in modern education, integrating the Indian knowledge system into the curriculum, which can enrich students' learning experience, provide diverse perspective, and cultivate a sense of respect for India's intellectual heritage. This event underscores the need to bridge the gap between the traditional wisdom and modern education, ensuring that future generations utilize the profound knowledge of India's ancient tradition. Before beginning the symposium, I invite you all to embark on a journey through the rich legacy and achievement of GSFC University, showcasing its remarkable contribution in milestone through this audiovisual.
Gujarat, where industry and innovation drive growth. Vadodara, a manufacturing cum education hub in the heart of this dynamic state, stands as a gateway to global connectivity. A pioneer of this industrial growth is Gujarat State Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited, GSFC. Known as a jewel in the crown of Gujarat, GSFC caters to the diverse needs of agricultural and industrial products. As its CSR initiative, a new chapter in education was started in 2015. GSFC University. A place where education is re-envisioned by creating future-ready graduates. GSFC University stands as a symbol of growth, a representation of myriad opportunities that await our students. Here, we cultivate minds and intellect through our philosophy, Buddhi Jnanena Shuddhayanti. Our mission is to impart excellence in student-centric education and create a win-win situation by ensuring every graduate is not just degree-equipped, but industry-ready. At our School of Technology, School of Science, and School of Management Studies and Liberal Arts, we offer a diverse range of undergraduate, master, postgraduate diploma, and doctoral programs. As a unique initiative for service to the society, GSFC University has developed a state-of-the-art facility called Fireplex, Agni Sankul, a center of excellence in the field of fire and safety. At GSFC University, we bridge theory with practical for career success. Our unique curriculum model is developed based on 5C: compact, contemporary, cutting-edge, customized, and collaborative. It is constantly evolving with regular reviews to ensure industry relevance and hands-on training. Our approach mirrors a pioneering medical college model, prioritizing practical learning through extensive industrial internship and training of students after every semester. The Guitar Council, a hub of incubation, innovation, technology, and applied research, is a testimony of it. This is a platform where science, engineering, and management converge to generate value and innovation. At GSFC University, holistic growth is at our core. Participative management, student-managed clubs, cultural fests like Ananta, foundation course, and combined with various scholarships, support our students' comprehensive development. Our 40-plus state-of-the-art labs, including specialized facilities in fire and safety, supercomputing, biotechnology, chemical science, AI and ML, 3D printing, and more, provide a tech-driven educational experience. Located in our extensively built Research and Development Center, Anviksha, future innovators and scientists thrive. Located within the GSFC township, our lush green campus elevates the students' experience with complete care and advanced facilities. The university provides a mess and canteen facility, ensuring nutritious and hygienic dining options for students. Convenient bus services are available, making daily commutes stress-free and accessible. Kasturba Gandhi Bhavan, our girls' hostel, offers safe, comfortable shared accommodations designed for a family-like living experience with spaces for relaxation, interaction and study. Vikram Sarabhai Bhavan, our boys' hostel, provides a similar sense of community living with safe and homely residential facilities. A unique program called Pinups is designed to identify and nurture the top 5% of the brightest students through tailored guidance, support, and mentoring, along with specialized activities. GSFC University is not just about academic excellence, it's about nurturing every aspect of student life. The university is managed under the overall control and superintendence of the governing body, supported by the Board of Management and the Academic Council, comprising illustrious academicians, industry leaders, and other experts having highly relevant experience in key areas. The university is spearheaded by Shri P.K. Taneja, former Additional Chief Secretary of the Government of Gujarat. Meticulously selected after receiving students' feedback, the professors are not just educators but pillars of support, encouraging open communication. With 30% of our teaching imparted by industry professionals, including expert talks and workshops on cutting-edge technologies, we introduce real-world expertise into our academia. Furthermore, we offer faculty development programs with external partners, ensuring continuous growth and innovation in teaching methods. GSFC University prides itself for having a close association with 700 plus industries, institutes, and organizations. This enriches our education with visiting faculties from these industries and empowers our students through industry-relevant internships. This blend of academic and practical learning bridges the gap between classroom theory and real-world application, resulting in excellent placement opportunities for the students. At GSFC University, we create an educational environment where diverse perspectives meet. It is more than a place of learning, where holistic growth is fostered. The university's academic journey spans over 9 years, from 141 students and 2 programs to more than 2,700 students, with 27 programs today. It is truly a glittering journey of growth. We don't just educate. We transform students into dynamic professionals ready to contribute to and excel in the evolving global landscape. A comprehensive ecosystem for students, university, and industry aimed at a situation of win-win-win.
It is of great honor to have such eminent personalities with us here today. So I request you all to please join us welcoming them on our dais. I request Sri P.K. Taneja sir to please come on the dais. I request Vishwajanini ma'am to please come on the dais. I request Anup Thakkar sir to please come on the dais. I thank our Honorable Shri P.K. Taneja sir. Shri P.K. Taneja sir has joined the Indian Administrative Service in 1984 after earning his B.Tech from IIT Roorkee. Over his 35 years of career, he served in the government of Gujarat in various capacities. Respected Shri P.K. Taneja sir has been the Additional Chief Secretary of Industries, Home, Forest and Environment, Government of Gujarat. Shri P.K. Taneja sir is known for his integrity, dedication and hard work. His multifaceted experience make him an exceptional leader. Now, I would like to thank Professor Ramakrishnan sir, retired professor of the Department of Electrical Energy and the Science for Neuroscience at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I also want to thank Professor Vishwajanani Satyagiri, Scientist H, and Head of the CSIR Traditional Knowledge Digital Library Unit, New Delhi. I also want to thank Professor Dr. Anup Kumar Thakkar, who has served as the Director of the Institute of Teaching and Research in Ayurveda, Jamnagar, and as a Vice Chancellor of Gujarat Ayurvedic University. That's not all. We also have our two dignitaries who will be joining us online. I am honored to welcome Dr. Prabhakar, Associate Professor at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Gandhinagar, and Dr. Ruchika Singh, Coordinator at the School of Science and Higher Education in the Indian Knowledge System Division at the Ministry of Education, Government of India. A heartfelt thank to all the esteemed dignitaries for gracing the stage. As we begin our auspicious event, I would like to invite our guests to please come forward for the lighting of the lamp. This signifies the illumination of knowledge, wisdom, and the beginning of new opportunities. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. As we all know that GSFC University stands out in every aspect, including guest felicitation, where we have showcased our uniqueness by presenting our guest with knowledge product created by GSFC University. To begin with the felicitation, our prestigious guest, I would like to invite our provost, Professor G.R. Sinha, to please come and felicitate Professor Ramakrishnan with our knowledge product. I would again request Professor G.R. Sinha to please felicitate Professor Vishwajanani Satyagiri with our knowledge product. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Dr. Akhilesh Prajapati, sir, to please come and felicitate Professor Anup Kumar Thakkar with our knowledge product. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Abha Kalayya to please come and felicitate our President, Shri P.K. Taneja, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Professor G.R. Sinha, sir, who is the Vice Chancellor of our GSFC University. He was former professor at IIT Bangalore and visiting professor of National Hing Chung University, Taiwan, University of Saino, Italy, and Sri Lanka University Campus, Colombo. I welcome sir to please give a welcome address on behalf of GSFC University.
Thank you. Good morning and namaste to all. I welcome you all in this National Symposium. Most Honorable President of this GSFC University, Sri P.K. Taneja sir, respected Professor Ramakrishnan, Professor Viswajanani, Dr. Anup Thakur, Director Mr. Panchal, Deans, Associate Deans, colleagues, dear students and dear participants. I welcome you all in GSFC University for attending this National Symposium on Indian Knowledge System. GSFC University is known for few important USPs that you all have seen during our audio-video presentation. The knowledge product was mentioned while we were honoring, welcoming our guest. Knowledge product is a product of our president, is a brainchild of our president. President sir says that he doesn't come from academia, but his contributions are of immense importance to the academia. So knowledge product is whatever we learn, whatever our students learn, deliver, we create it as a learning outcome tool so that it can be used for future. So what was presented as a token of respect to our guest is a knowledge bouquet. It has two knowledge products inside. One, just for the kind information to our invited eminent speakers. One is the knowledge product related to foundation course. You might have seen the foundation course, which is our most unique proposition, unique selling proposition, where one of the aspect of Indian knowledge system is also catered in the foundation course. So both the knowledge products which are prepared under knowledge bouquet, they have been created, managed, prepared by students only. So it's a knowledge bouquet by the students. So our heartfelt welcome to all eminent speakers, eminent guests here for coming here and accepting our invitation for this important symposium. Our president is the source of inspiration for everybody. When we talked about this Indian knowledge system, and when we mentioned that it's a part of national education policy, and there is an emphasis on Indian knowledge system in NAP. He is a person who believes in thorough study, complete study, detailed review, detailed presentation. I was requested to present one, presentation on Indian knowledge system. We presented, and then he said, let's have one symposium, and let's have some brainstorm. So I request all of you not just to be listeners, rather be very interactive and ask relevant questions, how the outcomes of these talks, outcomes of these eminent speakers' deliveries would benefit the students of GSFC University, would benefit the students of this university and our curriculum and research and studies. We have to always be very much inquisitive about the proceedings of the symposium. As far as Indian knowledge system is concerned, it is Bharati Gyan Parampara. I was also trying to do some work, still trying to continue. Bharati Gyan Parampara is Indian knowledge system. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya is the essence of this Bharati Gyan Parampara. Sustainable society through sustainable environment, sustainable climate, sustainable city, sustainable healthcare, whatever. And how can we exploit the capabilities of our traditional knowledge, ancient knowledge, so that we can live in sustainable society. And therefore, India believes in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We believe that the whole world is our family. Our responsibility is not only for us, for India, for the state, but for the whole world. Therefore, we say that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So the essence of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam also lies in Indian knowledge system. Let's just discuss few examples. Ramanujan did great work in mathematics. There are many others. I went to his birthplace called as Kumbakonam. People have not yet challenged what he has done in mathematics. What was that ancient knowledge? Think about the arts, think about the designs, think about the manufacturing, think about the metallurgy in ancient India. What are those skills? What is that knowledge? What is the traditional knowledge in art? I still remember, and that we see in many scriptures. I still remember, if you go to village, when I was a child, we never visited any hospital because I belong to a very typical rural area. So we went to a particular person called as Bega or Bedraj. So there are herbs, plants, jadi buti and all that. I'm not talking about those jhad phuk kind of thing, but there are herbs, plants which are used by those Vaidyaraj, and the treatment is given. We have medicinal plants in GSFC campus. Have you ever tried to exploit those properties scientifically? So what is IKS? In my understanding, whatever I have tried to study, tried to work, is studying all those traditional knowledge in the different fields: metallurgy, arts, culture, science, technology, mathematics, using science and technology, and using those potentials, applying science and technology for the benefit of the society, for the benefit of mankind, for the benefit of welfare of everybody. That is what is Indian knowledge system. Like, I am working in an area called as mental health care. The outcome is not very much tangible. What we do, that we try to study the impact, the benefit of yoga, meditation, using scientific techniques, using brain signals, using EEG signals. That also comes under IKS. When you see IIT Roorkee, IISc Bangalore, where professor comes from, IIT Madras, people are doing a lot of research in the area of mental health care. If you go to Neemhans, Bangalore, they are working in the area of IKS. So there are a lot of potentials. One of the objectives is to understand what is IKS, what is the significance of IKS, what are the main areas out of which we can focus on some particular areas that have relevance to the state of Gujarat and that have relevance to our university, so that we can also, because you have seen that we have crossed 2,800 students here in this campus. Just 4 or 5 years ago, it was around 600, 700, but now the number is 2,800. We are proud to say that the number of students, number of girl students is 40% of the total students. So what we believe now, NEP says that you should have 3,000 in your campus. So whatever is envisaged in NEP, whether it is IKS, whether it is CBCS courses, whether it is elective courses, I mean, whatever is there for the overall development, for the holistic development of students, we are trying to do this under the dynamic and the brilliant leadership of our Honorable President. And therefore, we thought, let's touch upon these areas also. That is the major objective. So once again, I welcome you all. I thank you everybody to attend this, for attending this seminar. I once again welcome the esteemed dignitaries, the eminent speakers, and on behalf of GSFC University, though they are not present in the inaugural ceremony, I also welcome Professor Prabhakar of IIT Gandhinagar, who is working closely in the IKS. He is in Gujarat now because he is in Gandhinagar, and Dr. Ruchika Singh, who works for IKS Division, Ministry of Education. So I welcome them also for this symposium. Thank you so much for attending this seminar. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Before starting our national symposium, I would like to invite our esteemed speaker, Professor Viswajanani Satyagiri, to enlighten us on the specific of Indian knowledge system. Please, ma'am.
Namaste to everyone. Shri Taneja ji, Professor Sinha, Professor Thakur, Professor Ramakrishnan, the distinguished speakers of today's symposium, faculty members, students, and participants. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be amongst all of you on this one-day symposium on Indian knowledge systems. That's very close to my heart because I deal with the subject matter of traditional knowledge of India. My role is to kind of protect Indian traditional knowledge from being taken away by third parties, by misappropriation and by piracy. While doing that, what we are also looking at is promoting and preserving Indian traditional knowledge for our current generations and for future as well. So why is it important to talk about Indian knowledge systems? In today's world, we are talking of global competitiveness, to be ahead of everybody in science and technology in all other fields, right? So why is tradition, why is culture important? Do you think it is important? Do you think the symposium is going to be of any meaning? The concern is that, when we are talking of any development, any advancement, any progress, any socio-economic development, we are talking of only the current technologies, the advanced technologies, and, the advancements that's happening around the world. So traditional knowledge, although they are the roots, the roots with which we have grown, happens to be a subject matter that needs to be mainstreamed, unfortunately so. Okay. And the importance that our heritage holds, that's a foundation on which we have all grown, and that is where we are trying to draw the attention of everyone today. When we are talking of especially the younger generation, I'm sure at least in our generation we still have some connect with the roots and traditions of Indianness. But when you're talking of the next generations, it's more kind of getting differentiated, and we are more drawn towards Western culture because of the need to be competitive and to be of meaning to the current world. Okay, so while we are doing that, the reason why we are trying to draw attention to the Indian knowledge systems is for this very reason, that we cannot forget our roots. It's the foundation on which we have grown, and it will be the foundation of our growth and development as well in future. When we are talking of Indian knowledge systems, is it a matter of relic? It is a matter of archival that we are currently facing. The matter is no. When you dig deeper into the Indian knowledge systems, we realize there's so much of value in it. In fact, some of the verticals or the keywords that I have understood once I have got into the Indian knowledge systems. By the way, I come from the modern science and technology field. I'm a graduate from Indian Institute of Science, and all my life I've been dealing with modern drug discovery and development with very little connect to the Indian knowledge systems per se, other than for during the festivals where we are very fond of eating our own traditional foods, wearing our Indian clothes, because it brings in a lot of fan and fervor and elegance that is not there in the Western clothes perhaps, and that is almost limited. So once I got into this work that I am doing, I kind of got into appreciating the Indian knowledge systems further, and I'm sure many of you are like me in the same kind of space where it's important to kind of recognize the value of our Indian traditional systems and grow to appreciate and grow with the Indian knowledge systems. So some of the things that I understood is that when we are talking of Indian knowledge systems, it's not just superstitions and blind beliefs. Okay, when we talk of even the educational systems of our ancestors, it talks about hetu. Hetu is reasoning. And there is, one another very important aspect is pramana, which is proof. Okay, and how do you derive proof? It is about pratyaksha, that is perception. Then there is this one, what is it? Upamana, analogy. And when you're talking of verbal testimony, it is shabda. So how do you get proofs, And to kind of talking about upamana, that is analogy, you tend to give examples. So again, in the Indian knowledge systems, there are examples as how this education system was dealt with. There is these, very important aspects of sadharmya and vaidharmya. That is affirmative examples and as well as, negative examples to tell about whether our hetu, the reasoning is right or not, and then come up with, the inference, that is anumana. So in all of this, when you talk about it, there is logic, there is reasoning, and that is how this whole system of, knowledge transmission from one generation to the other has occurred. In fact, when we are talking of logic and debate, there is two important aspects of how our Indian knowledge systems have evolved. One is the Tarka Vidya and the Vada Vidya. When you are talking of Tarka Vidya, it is a science of logic and debate. When you talk of Vada Vidya, it is the art of discussion. So it's not just blind beliefs and superstitions that we are made to believe that our Indian knowledge systems is all about, but it is all about, giving logical reasoning to the way we have done things in the past and its relevance to today's context of why Indian knowledge systems still holds good and importance in terms of preserving it and promoting it for not only Indian welfare but for global welfare as well. When we are talking of the National Education Policy 2020, Professor Sinha and given elaborated, our Indian knowledge systems are very given prominence in both education as well as research. So when we are talking of this, why was it important? It is for this very aspect that we need to mainstream our Indian knowledge systems into the minds of all the youngsters, be it in the schools or be it in the colleges or even in the higher education. In fact, the UGC has brought out guidelines on this. So the guidelines is for incorporating Indian knowledge systems in a higher education curriculum. The guidelines provides the topics that need to be covered, and they are talking about specifically 5% of the credits in all the courses that are to be put into UG and as well as the PG courses in terms of the Indian knowledge systems. And what is important in all of this, and when we talk about the UGC guidelines in education, is about the importance of Indian languages itself in the Indian knowledge systems, because the diversity and the uniqueness of the Indian knowledge systems comes from this, the languages themselves. So it's important to recognize that language is as important as the interventions that it speaks about. The other thing is that, as I said, Indian knowledge systems is not merely about superstitions and blind beliefs. It has had a reasoning, it had logic, it had, importance for the times, at that particular point of time. So the curriculum talks about, the guidelines talks about highlighting the objectives, methodology, and the core concepts of the Indian knowledge systems. While we are doing this, it's not just recognizing the old concepts and the importance of what Indian knowledge systems was at that point of time, but to highlight the contemporary relevance of that knowledge in today's context as well as the future. So this is what the UGC guidelines say. The ACTE, that is All India Council for Technical Education, also has brought out guidelines in terms of the minor degree in universal human values. So the ACTE, that is when you're doing any education in technical fields, the technology fields, it is important to recognize this particular guidelines as well. And it talks about 18 credits in the IKS courses. This includes the mandatory 5% credits in the overall UG and as well as the PG educational curriculum. So in addition to all of that, when you're talking of guidelines and all that, yes, it is important, and its implementation is key to deriving the benefits of any guidelines. So to kind of oversee and also push a thrust towards, empowering the Indian knowledge systems in curriculum as well as innovation, we are talking of the creation of the IKS division. I'm sure you have a speaker from today's symposium from the IKS division. So this is a division that has been instituted in the Ministry of Education per se. Okay, and this particular IKS division is providing for internships to the students, research fellowship for young researchers as well as established researchers, and it also provides means for creating centers of excellence in IKS division. So from an education policy, yes, we have enough frameworks in the country that can bring out the importance and significance of the Indian knowledge systems. And when we are talking of the other end of education, why do we all need to be educated? Is to be of value, is to create something. And when you're talking of creation, innovation is important. The national IPR policy, that is the intellectual property rights policy, which I'll deal with during my detailed presentation, also in the vision statement includes traditional knowledge and biodiversity. Professor Sinha mentioned about the ecology and environment around, and it is important to recognize the plant species, the animal species, and everything around us. So when we are talking of innovation, traditional knowledge has an important component, and it is to recognize all the knowledge holders and the communities for their creativity and how modern science and technology can handhold them and be handheld to take this initiative forward towards the good for the good of all. And this is what the Indian Knowledge Systems is all about. I'm truly glad to be part of this one-day symposium on the Indian Knowledge Systems. Once again, Taneja ji and Professor Sinha, thank you so much for this opportunity. I look forward to interacting with all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for enlightening our listeners with a brief of Indian knowledge system. This event would not be possible without the support of our Honorable President. So now I invite Shri P.K. Taneja sir to please address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Today's symposium's esteemed guests, we have Professor Ramakrishnan, Dr. Vishwajanni Settigil, am I right? Professor Thakkar, and of course, we have Professor Sinha on the dais. I'm given to understand that we are going to have Dr. Prabhakar and Dr. Ruchika Singh participating in today's symposium as eminent speakers during the course of the day. To begin with, I take this opportunity to welcome you all for this one-day national symposium on a very important subject called Indian Knowledge Systems. We are a very young university, just 9 years old. We are not even in teens. So perhaps we can call ourselves as little children in the education sector. And of course, our parents are around us. We are housed in GSFC township, and GSFC is our parent. In that sense of the term, we are getting full support from our parents, and I do believe that we are doing reasonably well. I recollect the day when Professor Sinha, after joining here in December 23, made a mention of Indian knowledge system, that he has been doing something on it in terms of research. We had a presentation, and thereafter I suggested that why can't we have a symposium where we can have ideas, knowledge from others to form certain views, then make it a part of our system. We are at a stage where this symposium, one-day symposium, can act as a springboard. Till date, we have been trying to learn how to manage a university. Very young, just 9 years. As Professor Sinha said that we have been moving, I remember my day when I joined as president, of course, 6-7 years ago, which is very uncommon for an IS officer. I mean, rarity. I don't think any IS officer works for more than 2, 3 or maximum 4 years. Then we are, but since this is not a regular government job, that's why I've continued here for the last 6 to 7 years. Or GSFC decided to continue me. But that time we didn't have even 400 students. We had just a few programs, which we call basic programs. And we started moving in a direction so that we have other programs also. And today we have as many as about 27 programs. And today we have more than 2,800 students, 7 times of what we had about 4 or 5 years ago. Now we can talk about Indian knowledge system. This is the right time. One is that we do say that India has contributed a lot to the world, and we should take pride in being part of this country. I am also an engineer and did it from IIT Roorkee, and I don't think anybody ever talked about Indian knowledge system then. I'm talking of 1975 to 79, 45 years ago. And even we called ourselves as Thomsonians, because IIT Roorkee at one time used to be Thomson College of Engineering. And just 177 years ago it was set up. In 1847, 100 years before India got independence. I don't want to recollect, but then definitely, mostly, we were told how to, those table manners, how to take the fork in your left hand, take the spoon in the right hand, use the fork to lift your utensils, means your... Even today I have that habit. Tuck. Is it an Indian knowledge system? I think in an Indian knowledge system you use your fingers and hand. Am I right? Yes. So it becomes very important as to what you teach. It becomes part of your life. We are in Baroda, just a little reference. Baroda has been one of the most progressive towns in the state. This was by Gaikwad estate, and that Gaikwad estate was very close to nature and science. And Indian knowledge system is also very close to nature and science. So we need to integrate that by virtue of the fact that we are in Baroda. The oldest living city in the world is in India. Can somebody tell me which is that? Which one? Kashi, yes, Varanasi. I'm indeed very happy to know from Dr. Vishwajanani that since I have not read, let me accept my ignorance about the subject. I thought it may not be based on logic, discussion and all that. But what has been described is really an eye-opener even for me also. The art of logic, Tark Vidya, the art of discussion. Perhaps one of the major elements we are missing, this is just a humble opinion, is the art of listening. We don't listen. Do we?
Maybe it's a new trend.
I don't know. Our own Prime Minister is known for this, the art of listening. I have worked with him. So these are the things, So, based on what is going to be discussed today, and yesterday when I had a little briefing from my team, I had made certain suggestions that symposiums are primarily to provide authenticity to your planning, as to what you plan. You are supposed to plan before symposium is organized. You study, You carry out your due diligence, you form certain views, you subject yourself to the experts that this is what we have, and kindly validate it, authenticate it. And then once it is like auditors. I'm explaining in my own simple administrative language. I'm an administrator rather than anybody else. All along I have done only administration, nothing beyond that. So have we done that? We need to do that if we have not done that. I have certain suggestions. I take this opportunity to, whenever we undertake, sorry, this is also IKS. See, we have about 3,000 stakeholders in this university. You may be wondering, rather I may go even beyond that. 2,800 plus students, then faculty, then non-teaching staff, then other associated people. Why don't we carry out a survey or a need or interest assessment in anything we do? This is for every faculty member and everyone. We just don't do that. Anything and everything. Today we have tools at our disposal, whether you call them Google form or this form or that form. Just assess as to, but when you assess, prepare a background paper. Normally we do a very casual. Suppose we want to have a need or interest assessment of our stakeholders, we'll simply say, are you interested in IKS? Without knowing what is IKS, what will this answer? And then we get angry unnecessarily कि देखो कोई interest नहीं आया. अरे जब explain ही नहीं किया आपने कि क्या चीज है, you don't expect a correct answer. So I'll request the team develop a background paper and carry out a survey. Let us see, because all said and done, majority is young generation. You may not find many, but you may find few. But those few, nothing wrong in having a smaller number, but if they are going to be impactful. We have somebody, one of Akshat, who speaks wonderful Hindi. Language is one of the, this thing. He could be one of the coordinators for certain areas. Our faculty should be knowing who is what and identify those students. Go ahead. This is what we should be doing. Second, perhaps we need to, the management and the faculty should know what it is. Now, I keep talking about knowledge product. I don't think it should be something very objectionable, at least. I have been in companies for almost 10 to 12 years in different companies as chairman, managing director and others. And there we talk about products. Industrial products, fertilizer products, this product, that product. And second term we use is business. These two words have gone into my head all the time. Because if you work in companies for 12 years, that too in a position of managing director, this thing, these will be part of your life. Can you do away with it? So many times you may have heard from me, and let me clarify in case somebody is confused with it. I said we are in the business of education. But then I qualify second sentence immediately. Because otherwise many of you may say, where is the profit? Here the profit is you cannot even think of. It's a huge, huge profit. Only thing is that you cannot count in terms of rupees or money. Otherwise, if I talk about business angle or business parameters, some of you may be knowing return on investment, return on capital employed, return on those terms, which majority of the, I think those like Madam Vimla is laughing because she is from economics. So return on equity, it's huge, huge and huge. Only thing is you should have the eyes and you should be able to observe. You are making the life of a student who is more like a wonderful product for us. Is he not? When he comes, is he a matured product? When he leaves, our duty is to convert and transform him into a wonderful product so that he starts earning and he becomes a support to his family. Am I right or wrong? But in an industry, means which they look at the balance sheet, they look at the profit and loss account. What is the top line? What is the bottom line? What is the percentage of profit? What is the EBITDA? For us, we need to look at it, though our top line may not be. Top line, of course, I can take it as a student, number of students, which has multiplied 7 times. The bottom line is the real thing, which is the quality of students. Do we ever analyze that? And if we really want the quality of the students to improve, IKS also has to be an integral part of it. So IKS in a way is part of the business which we are doing. Here is a business which is without profits but which is such a noble thing. People don't understand, and that is what drives me. And I shout from the top of my roof that the returns are much more than what I was earning as a managing director or the chairman of the... I was the MD of this company itself, GSFC. Everyone is making money. Private companies, whether it is the so-called Adanis, Ambanis, or anyone is making money. But what we are doing is, when you see the smile on the face of outgoing students with a job on there, I recollect my days when I got an offer in IIT Roorkee. So this is what is important. And fortunately, I think the model we have, which Dr. yesterday I shared, that we are the only university in the whole country which does not give semester break. You may be wondering, what is this? Is it nonsense? Is it not nonsensical? Break is part of life. Here the break is used for internship. And that responsibility is taken by us, not by the students. The way it was being done for us when I was doing, go and do internship and give us a certificate, that's all. So people will go to their relations' place, either sister's place, some place, and go to the industry for half a day, some during a week, and then get a certificate and submit. This is what largely everyone was doing. I did not do it because I was a little sincere kind of character, but even I did it to some extent. Because I was doing it in Ghaziabad, a small dusty town far away from my town where I was from Rajasthan, going all the way to UP to Ghaziabad and doing my industrial internship. How many students were in a small place? For which I needed residence, means some place to stay, transportation, everything. But I felt that it was necessary. Today, students just want comfortable life, but doesn't matter. But it is our duty as to where should a student undertake internship. It should be mapped with the curriculum. Then only it makes sense, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Then only you can make them future ready, which is part of our vision and mission, which is mentioned in our audiovisual film. But we have a lot to do. Again, I request our faculty and students to give highest priority to this particular mission, that we need to have in future ready and industry ready students, and for which even IKS can contribute. So second suggestion is that unless we make faculty an integral part of the entire IKS, I don't think we'll be able to contribute anything. So whatever we are doing, let us be very clear that technology is not everything. Ethics, principles, integrity, they all are part of it. Indian system, they are equally important. So whenever you teach anything, we have a structure that 1 minute, 2 minutes we should cover for ethics, or 2 minutes we should cover for discipline. I would suggest, Professor Sinha, also to include 1 minute or 1.5 minutes on IKS in the structure itself. That means every day the faculty is forced to apply mind on IKS. I do believe that I have been part of administration for almost 45 years now. I started in 79, 21 plus 24, 45 years. Things do not get done in India unless you force it down. You have to have combination of both motivation as well as. So for the last for 10-15 minutes, I am trying to motivate you. It is necessary, it is all that. But if I leave it there, nothing will happen. Things will remain as they are. So I have to get back to that. Otherwise, Indian knowledge system would have gone somewhere else. Am I right? So we have to have system in place so that a system to implement an Indian knowledge system is what is the need of the hour. Let's do it, whether we do it through CBCS, credit. But first thing is to carry out the need or interest assessment, but that need and interest assessment should not be done without telling someone that this is what it is. Even the president doesn't know. If the president doesn't know, then how can you expect a student and faculty to know about it? So let's have a small knowledge product, KB for the purpose, which is sent to everyone. Then you organize something like maybe internal symposium or internal discussion, and then form as to what is the best way of doing a particular thing, whether you should have it in a. But definitely we can start right away that 1 minute, 2 minutes, we start talking about Indian knowledge system in our structure itself. I wish the symposium a great success. Maybe I expect that after a year or so, we will make it part of our audiovisual film also, if there is a success. largely whatever we have said in our audiovisual film is a matter of fact rather than mostly. It is not like what the business people do, the marketing. We mean it and we do it. Yes, we may be a little wrong here and there, which is we sometimes do ignore, but largely we do not. And that is what is our USP. So wish you all the best, making me part of this symposium. Thank you.
Thank you, our Honorable President, for your inspiring word and unwavering support. Your guidance continues to drive us towards excellence. Now, I would like to call Dr. Abha Kalaya ma'am to please give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Kanishka. Greetings and a very warm welcome to all. It is a privilege and honor for me as the convener of this one-day national symposium on Indian knowledge system to extend my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for making this inaugural session a success. First and foremost, I extend my deepest gratitude to our eminent speakers, Professor Ramakrishnan, Dr. Vishwajanani Satyakari Madam, Professor Anup Kumar Thakkar, Dr. V.N. Prabhakaran, Dr. Ruchika Singh, who so graciously accepted our invitation. Thank you, sir and madam. A special note of thanks goes to the visionary leadership of our Honorable President, Shri P.K. Taneja, President GSFCU. Sir, your unwavering support and forward-thinking vision have been the guiding force behind this symposium. My heartfelt thanks for Professor G.R. Sinha, Provost GSFCU. Sir, your commitment to excellent and continuous improvement inspire us all to strive the greater achievements. Thank you. I also wish to express my sincere thanks to senior management of GSFC University, IKS convener, Dr. Akhilesh Prajapati, Dr. Dhaval Thakkar, and the entire team behind the success of this symposium. Thank you all for your tireless dedication and hard work in ensuring the smooth execution of the symposium. Last but not the least, my sincere thanks to the honored guests, scholars, participants, and all those present with us today, online and offline. Here, I would like to mention that we are having online participants from the various states like Maharashtra, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Jharkhand. I look forward to an engaging and enlightening symposium that not only deepens our understanding, but also fosters the new ideas, thought-provoking sessions and discussions, and the collaborations. I'm confident that the conversations and the knowledge shared will resonate with us after the symposium as well. Thank you for all the valuable presence, and I wish you everyone a successful and enriching experience forward. Once again, a very warm welcome to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Abha ma'am. Now I request to take a short tea break. I request every participants to please return by 10:55 so that we can proceed with our session. Thank you.